Clovercrest Media presents All Four Downs podcast. If you want to start your podcast, visit the website clovercrestmedia.com and learn how you can take advantage of full service with audio and video production. Visit the website clovercrestmedia.com. This is All Four Downs podcast, where we talk about college football, NFL, XFL, and other related football chatter. Hit that subscribe button and share the show with your friends and football fans. On this show, we're going to be talking about some updated news on college football, who are my Heisman candidates, who's making it to the national championship, and 3 games that I'm betting on for this upcoming Saturday as college football starts.
First down!
The Big Ten announced its completion of a 7-year deal worth $7 billion media rights agreement with Fox, CBS, and NBC. The deal will begin July 1st, 2023 and will carry over through the 2030 season. The goal is to improve its revenue by the second year, as USC and UCLA are expected to enter the conference. Urban Meyer is back on the news again. This time, Meyer will return to television to Fox's college football pregame show. Meyer was fired as the head coach of the NFL Jacksonville Jaguars, as he only coached for 13 games. However, he did lead the University of Florida to 2 national titles and 1 with Ohio State. Also, former Florida coach Dan Mullen was hired by ESPN as a studio analyst. The NCAA is probing how to get involved with the Neal investigation. There are substantial concerns about the Neal transaction and the alleged concerns about tampering, recruiting violations, and permissible benefits, and more. My co-host Joel Guire is very fond about the NCAA, and he will be willing to jump on them for failing to find a resolution that could have happened a long time ago. Other news, the SEC will more likely have 9 conference games beginning the next season. That's because Texas and Oklahoma will be joining the SEC. It will be a 3-6 format with 3 non-divisional games and 6 divisional games. And lastly, good news. Texas Tech will honor Kansas City Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes, as the Red Raiders will induct him into the school's Ring of Honor. The ceremony will take place on October 29th. The Texas Tech hosts the Baylor Bears. Second down. A Heisman winner is a player who demonstrates outstanding performance and the pursuit of excellence with integrity. The winner epitomizes excellent ability, diligence, perseverance, and hard work. The 6 premature Heisman candidates I am selecting meet those prerequisites, and I'll start with my first pick, CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud is from Ohio State. As a freshman, he should have won the Heisman Trophy. Like Bryce Young, who won the trophy last season, he put up similar numbers. And speaking about Bryce Young, he'll be on the list as well, as he is seeking to win back-to-back trophies. The only player to win back-to-back trophies was Archie Griffin in 1974 and 1975, and he was the running back from Ohio State. Caleb Williams and Spencer Rattler are both transferred from Oklahoma. Williams followed head coach Lincoln Riley to USC. Williams replaced Rattler during the time in Oklahoma as a starting quarterback through mid-season. Now he competes with USC, and the school was once a powerhouse under then head coach Pete Carroll from 2001 to 2009. For Rattler, he will be the starting quarterback for the South Carolina Gamecocks. He has more arduous tasks than Williams because he is playing in the SEC, and the teams he has to play against is Georgia, Texas A&M, and Kentucky, to name a few. Rattler can shock the world should South Carolina succeed. Will Anderson Jr. from Alabama is a linebacker. He sacked 17 quarterbacks last season. There has never been a linebacker positioned to win the Heisman. Anderson can be the first should he reach over 24 sacks this season. And the reason why I say this, Terrell Suggs, Arizona State, sacked 24 quarterbacks, and before the sacks were calculated in NCAA, Derek Thomas did it with Alabama, and he had 27 sacks. Lastly, Bijan Robinson is the running back from Texas. Should he have a successful season under head coach Steve Sarkisian's pro spread offense, Robinson can run the ball more and protect his colleague, the starting freshman quarterback, the transfer from Ohio State, Quinn Ewers. Third down. The season has not begun, but it's not too late to mention early prediction on which teams will take center stage for the national championship. These are the odd favorites to win the national title this season. First is Alabama, 2 Ohio State, 3 Georgia, 4 Clemson, 5 USC, and 6 Texas A&M. I stated that Alabama and Ohio State will play for the national title if you heard my previous episode in this podcast. However, I did not pick the winner. The one team I am curious about is Clemson. If Dabo Swinney pieced together a formula to get back into the championship ways, I could see an upset in all kinds of categories. Clemson has defeated Alabama and Ohio State before. It will all depend on how valuable his starting quarterback can be throughout the season. Alabama hosts Texas A&M on October 8th. The loser may not reach the college football playoffs. It makes sense. Both these teams are in the same division, and one of them will not partake in the SEC championship. So there's gotta be one to make it. I'm leaning on Alabama on that one. Georgia is a concern because many starting defensive players left for the NFL. They still have the talent, but it's questionable if the Bulldogs can repeat. USC is a long shot. I understand Lincoln Riley is the head coach and Williams will be the starting quarterback. There will be 6 new players in the offense and 3 on the defense, all related to transfers. USC has the depth, but can they beat Utah Utes? And in fact, can a Pac-12 conference team represent in the college football playoffs? Now that is a far reach. So my biggest take in this, what about if we see Alabama and Clemson rematch? I think that could be possible. If not, then maybe I'll stick to Alabama and Ohio State, and more likely, Alabama may end up winning this year's college football playoffs. 4th down. College football starts next week, August 27, and there are plenty of games to watch, especially all those sports bettors. The Big Ten Conference begins with Nebraska versus Northwestern. This is an awesome game, even though a lot of people are predicting that both teams won't do anything this year. But both teams are coming out from a disappointing season with a 3-9 record. In their last meeting, the Cornhuskers crushed Wildcats 56-7. Adrian Martinez, now a Kansas State transfer, was responsible for scoring 4 of many touchdowns in the game. One of them had to be a 25-yard run to the end zone. Nebraska head coach Scott Frost will have former Texas Longhorn graduate transfer Casey Thompson as the starting quarterback. On the other side, Northwestern head coach Pat Fitzgerald is entering his 17th season and will have Ryan Helinski as the starting quarterback. He is the youngest brother of 3, and all were starting quarterbacks. However, his second oldest, Tyler, who played at Washington State, died by suicide. Nebraska is favored by 13 points in the game line spread. Now, I want to warn you that this game will not be easy for the Cornhuskers. Nebraska's last victory in Evanston, Illinois was on September 24th, 2016. Therefore, I am taking Northwestern with the points regardless of who wins the game. Charlotte 49ers and Florida Atlantic Owls is a Conference USA showdown in Florida. 7 points favor the Owls. However, neither game in Florida has ever been more significant than 5 points. That's why I am picking Charlotte with the points. And lastly, Nevada versus New Mexico State. The over-under in the game is 51.5. I am picking this game to go over. Each game resulting in over 58 points or more in the last 8 meetings. This show is presented by Clovercrest Media. If you want to start your podcast, visit the website clovercrestmedia.com. On the next episode, we're going to break down the actual games happening on the second part of week 1 in college football. Also coming up will be another episode of the NFL as we get set ready for week 1. Check out my picks with the spread and over-unders and much more here on All 4 Downs.